Hi students, welcome to the class 8 of social. This is Daniel. So, what are we going to learn today in the first lesson of the social studies of 8th class? To just recollect it, we'll go to 6th and 7th class, where the first lessons, what you have learned were about maps. In that particular classes, you have learned about the height of particular places, how to know through a map, how to point out the places on a political map. You have learned about it by using colors and symbols. So in this class, we will be discussing about the maps, how to read it and how to analyze it. So from the beginning, we'll discuss when the maps were made, in which particular period these maps were made, what was the use of these maps during those period, and what is the use of maps during the present time. We'll try to discuss in the first chapter of our 8th class, reading and analysis of maps. If you have a textbook, take the first page of the lesson where you have two pictures. You can see the two pictures. The first picture, 1.1, it is the picture taken by the satellite, or we can say it as a satellite photograph taken from the space. So this is a map of the whole world, and where to the below you can see a map which is prepared by the geographers, right? And this map usually we call it as a outline map. Do you find any kind of similarities or differences in them? Yes, there are some similarities are there, there are some differences are there. Try to think about it. I'm going to write some particular points where we can differentiate between a map and a satellite photograph. What difference is there between both of this? Now let us discuss about the difference between a map and a photo. So definition I have given over here, but let us know first the differences between a map and a photo here. So unlike a photo, map is quite different. In what way is it different? It does not show real features. A map does not show the real features, but whereas a photograph shows the real features. It shows real features. What it shows? It shows houses, it shows trees, it shows the different surroundings where you are standing, right? So a photograph shows the real features, but whereas a map does not show the real features. And where a map is used by geographers to show features and the information of rainfall, soil types, population, markets, hospitals, right? Rivers, roads, so many things it can be shown. Then who do it? It is done by the geographers. They do it, right? So they give us every information about this on a map. But whereas a photo may not be able to show how much it rains, what is the population of a place, what the language is spoken by those particular people, right? We cannot show that in a photograph, but in a map the geographers mention it. How much hotness is there, how much cold is there in that particular place, what is the population of that particular place. Means there are different maps are there prepared by the geographers, and the information is given in that particular various maps. So this is a quite a difference between a map and a photograph. Then what actually is a map? What actually is a map? You can see in the first picture, right? This is a photograph taken from the satellite. It is called as satellite photograph, right? So based on this particular map has been prepared, isn't it? So this is a photograph and this is a map. So what we can say is a map is a representation. A map is a representation of the earth on a flat surface. You are drawing a map on a flat surface. Now board is a flat surface. I am drawing here. I draw India here. Right, I have drawn India over here. Okay, so what I am doing? So this is the whole board. This is a flat surface, right? And I have represented India on this flat surface, and this becomes a map. So map is a representation of the earth on a flat surface. If you see this particular difference here, what is the map is used? It is used by the geographers to show what is the population, how much it rains, what type of soils are present, what languages are spoken, where are the hospitals, where are the market, where are the temples, etc., etc. Information is given in the map here. So there are various maps are there. Right, so a map which focuses on only one aspect is called as thematic map. A map which focuses only one aspect is called thematic map. Only one aspect. Either it can be physical map or political map or population map or rainfall map or climatic map, whatever it may be. It shows only one particular aspect. For example, physical map is there. What does the physical map shows? It shows about different landforms. It shows about different landforms. Mountains, plains, plateaus, rivers, deserts, coastal plains, islands, etc. So that is the physical features. So complete physical feature map is there. It shows only one aspect. Then political map. Now this political map, what does it shows? It shows about all the continents of the world, countries of the world, states. We have a state map, we have a district map, we have a village map, right? So there are different political maps are there. So there is only one aspect is there here, that is political map. So we show, for example, I'll show here one minute. Now, what is this? This is a political map which is present on the page number 10. This is the political map. Now, if you go further here, now what this map is? This is a physical map. You can see here. This is a physical map, right? Where it is shown where are the plateaus are there, where are the plains are there, where are the rivers are flowing. So this is a physical map. So a map which focuses only on one aspect is called thematic map. Examples of these thematic maps are physical map, political map, or any other maps where you can see here. Drainage maps also are there, right? Rainfall maps also are there. So this also can be considered as the thematic maps. Okay. So after the differences and the definition of what is a map, we'll come to the maps down the ages. In different ages, in different part of the world, maps were been made. In India, maps were been made, and we got the maps of the prehistoric period also. Then some maps from the medieval period, and some maps which were made by the Mughals. Then later on, we'll discuss about the maps of the other part of the world other than India, that is Sumerian maps, Babylonians maps, right? Some maps which are made by the Europeans some maps which are made by the Arabians. We'll try to discuss it. So first, let us go to the making of a map in India. So if you look at the textbook, there are some pictures have been given there in your textbook, right down to the page number 2. So one is the concentric circle, another is the world map has been given here, isn't it? So these two maps are quite not a different one. So here little bit difference is there, but message is same over here. So what it says, prehistoric painting from Johora in Madhya Pradesh showing, right, land, water and the skies have been, right, received. So these people who were doing, usually what happens is that there are people who do a lot of research on the ancient period or history, right? So they got the paintings in Johora. Johora is a place and where they got the painting and in which it was showing about the land, water and the skies. Now what do you mean actually, first of all, what do you mean by prehistoric? Prehistoric means where the time before writing, where we did not start writing also. So that period is called as the prehistoric period. So in that period also, where we got some paintings and it shows clearly about land, water and the skies. And in those period, the people were trying to know more about the cosmic graphy, means about the stars, about the earth, about the sun, moon, etc., etc. They were trying to gain more knowledge from that, and they have the knowledge about that also. And where cosmographic speculation continued in Vedic and Puranic times, when it was thought that the earth had 7 islands. So during the cosmic period, what happened when they were just observing the stars at the time also, what they thought is that this particular earth had 7 islands. So you can see here in this picture clearly shown that there are 7 islands are there. 7 islands are there, and the name of the islands also are been given there, isn't it? So these 7 islands, again they are surrounded by the 7 seas in a concentric circle with Mount Meru at the center. You can see here, this is the concentric circle, and where the 7 islands are surrounded by the 7 seas. The 7 islands are surrounded by 7 seas, and where at the center we can see the Mount Meru. Mount Meru is present. Then where was India then? Where was India? India was located on the islands of Jambu Dvipa. Dvipa means island. So you can see here in this particular picture, you can see there the islands are there, 7 islands are there, right? So I will read out the island there: Puskara Dvipa, Sakadipa, right, Salmali Dvipa, Jambu Dvipa, then Krauka Dvipa, then Kusa Dvipa and Plaskwa Dvipa. So Dvipa means what? Island. For example, Lakshadweep is here. Lakshadweep. So what is Lakshadweep? It's an island. So like that, there are 7 islands are present which are surrounded by 7 seas, and where India is located in Jambu Dvipa. And what more we have got it from this particular period of time, right? For example, here it says architects prepared in those days. Architects prepare elaborate plans for Vedic sacrificial altars and building, and a few sketches of these have survived, especially from the medieval period. So they got these pictures during the medieval period of time. What? During the Vedic period, they used to prepare a sacrificial altars. Sacrificial altars means they used to prepare like this, with a stone, right? They used to prepare one altar, right, with a stone, and on this stone they used to sacrifice the animal, right? Sacrifice the animals on this particular altars. So they got these pictures also, sketches or pictures, they have got it, right, during the medieval period. And we also get reference to a number of pictorial maps depicting places, especially pilgrim centers. So they got some more maps where it was showing about the people visiting the pilgrim centers. Sailors who sail along the sea coast of the Indian Ocean to have maintained elaborate maps or sketches of the coastline, giving location of ports, shoals, islands, etc. So many traders traveled from Europe to India to have trade with the Indian people during the Dravidians, right? Some 4,000, 5,000 years back also, right? The Europeans, they used to come from through the what you call as the Arabian Sea, and they used to have trade with the Dravidians, and they used to make all the sketches of the coastline, then about the location where they have to go, right, etc, etc. Everything was been detailed in the maps. And moreover, talk about the latitudes, right, and longitudes, right, which help in fixing the location of a various places, right. So this also was been done some thousands of years back it has been done, right. So and where we find Aryabhatta using these concepts. What concepts? He has used latitudes and longitudes in knowing the different particular places. During which particular time? During the 5th century CE, Common Era, right. So it is not clear if and when these were used in map making. When these particular latitudes and longitudes actually were being used, when the concept were being used, this is not clearly been mentioned here. And talk more about the map making in India during the time of the Mughal periods, right. So the Mughals period started from the 16th century, right. Half of the 16th century, the particular this period started, and where the Mughal time, Indian map makers were introduced to methods of Central Asia map makers, and an atlas was prepared in Jaunpur in the 17th century by Sadiq Ishfani. During the 17th century, right, maps were prepared, right, maps were prepared by Sadiq Ishfani. He used latitudes and longitudes to determine the location of places in his maps. So Sadiq Ishfani, what he did to locate the places very easily, he has taken the concepts of latitudes and longitudes. So with the help of latitudes and longitudes, yes, it is very easy to find out the places. When you come to the 9th class, in the first lesson itself, where we'll discuss about our earth, in the last topic of the first lesson, where we'll discuss about how we can find a place with the help of latitudes and longitudes. So here Sadiq Ishfani also has used latitudes and longitudes to locate the various places. And by the end of the Mughal period, when the Britain began to mapping India, we learned of a variety of maps in use, right. For example, here is the map which was prepared by the Britishers on the page number 7, right. You can see here this particular map was prepared by the Britishers. So they prepared a various types of a map they have prepared. Unfortunately, most of these maps are lost and only a few have survived. Only a few particular maps which have been prepared by the Britishers have been survived. So this is about the map making in India. Then what about the map around the world? What type of maps were prepared around the world, and which particular period this were prepared? So next topic is about that. So there were other maps also were there down the ages from the other part of the world other than India. Okay, so some particular maps also have been survived, right, from the other part of the world, that is Asia, that is from Sumeria. Sumeria at present it is in Iraq. Sumeria, it is at present in Iraq. So Sumerian civilization we say. So these Sumerians, they used to draw the map on a clay, Clay. They used to, what is clay? You make pots. So they used to draw the map on the clay and they used to make it hard by burning it. Right, putting on fire, it becomes hard. So we call as a clay tablet. So if you can see here, this is a clay tablet which has been prepared by the Sumerians. Now what is there in the clay tablet? It shows about how much land does the temple has under its control. How much land is there and how much income they are receiving from this particular land. So clearly, right, to keep the accounts, right, of the income they get from the land, this particular tablets or maps were being made. So these maps were called as clay tablets, we say. Why we call as clay tablet? Because they prepared it on the clay. That's what we call as clay tablets. Okay, so these are one type of maps. So now you understand why they prepare these maps, to keep an account of income, what they get from the large tract of land. Large areas they used to be under the Sumerians, so they had to keep a track. So how they should keep a track? By drawing this type of maps. Similarly, they got the maps from the Babylonians also. Babylonians also were one of the strongest civilizations, right? And this also was right, present in the present Iraq. Present Iraq, these Babylonians were present and they got the maps. So we got the maps of the world. So they prepared the earliest world maps. Earliest world map, when they were prepared, around 2600 years, they have prepared these world maps. And in this world map, what they have shown world as a round disc. They have shown as world as a round disc, and in this round disc, the inner circles were shown as, the small circles have been shown as, right, towns, cities, villages, rivers, right, mountains, marshes, etc. have been shown. So you can see here, it's not so much clear, but still we can understand from there. Okay, and moreover, what about the Babylon city, the important city of the Babylonians, right? So that was been centered here. So the Babylon city was in the center and all the villages, towns and cities, mountains were around it. And beyond this Babylon city, right, they flowed a bitter river. Right? So in the inner circle was a bitter river or salt water ocean was flowing, right? And this salt water ocean, in which there were 7 triangle oceans were there. 7 triangle oceans. You can see there. You can see in the picture 7 triangle oceans were there. So in the inner circle, we see the bitter river or the salt water oceans, and in which there were 7 triangle oceans were present, have been shown in this Babylonian clay tablet. Okay, now beyond this, there was some other people also were there, like Greeks were there. They also prepared the map. Geographers like Anaximander and Hecataeus of Miletus, now in Turkey, and Herodotus also prepared world maps by arranging places from east to west. What they did, they arranged the places from east to west. They have arranged. You can see in this particular map, the map prepared by Hecataeus, the world after Hecataeus, right? So they prepared the map, and how did they arrange the places? From east to west and north to south, they have prepared this map. And the ideas were similar to the Babylonians, who believed that the earth was round disc surrounded by the ocean water. Similarly, these particular Greeks also believed the same way. They too had the same idea how the Babylonian used to have the thought about the world. So these Greeks also thought that yes, the world is like a round disc, and it is surrounded by the ocean water. And these Greeks, they traveled widely and wrote down descriptions of the land, the people, and their histories, and they saw or heard about. They prepared maps based on these travels and descriptions. Though these maps have not survived, historians have tried to recreate them with the help of their descriptions. Yes, maps. The historians could not get the maps of these great people, of this great geographer. They could not get it, but they got the book in which every particular detail was being written. They got the book, and from that book they were able to make the description or make the maps. As we can see in the previous map, the Greece placed what they placed, right? Greece in the middle of the map. They also divided the world into three particular continents: Libya, Europe, and Asia. They divided the world into three continents: Europe, Libya, and Asia. Where is Libya? In Africa. Today also Libya is in Africa. So they divided the continent into three. All these were separated by the Mediterranean Sea. So you can observe in this particular map that all these three are separated by the Mediterranean Sea. Where is the Mediterranean Sea? Here the blue colored one is the Mediterranean Sea, where we can see Europe is on the north of the Mediterranean Sea. To the south of Mediterranean Sea we can see Libya, and the east of Mediterranean Sea we can see Asia. And what is this colored water here? It is the ocean. So these three continents are surrounded by the ocean or water body. So the Greeks and after them the Romans were greatly interested in making maps and knowing about places near and from. Now Romans from where? From Italy. These Romans also were greatly influenced by the geographers of Greece, geographers of Babylonian, etc., etc., and they also wanted to make maps near and far. They wanted to conquer the world, build colonies in far places and trade with them. Now why they wanted to prepare the map? The Romans, why they wanted to prepare the map? To build strong colonies, large colonies they wanted to bring. For example, India was a colony of the Britishers. Like that, the Roman also wanted to build many colonies far off and have trade with these colonies. You might have heard about the great Emperor Alexander from Greece. He came from all through the Greece to India to conquer India. But at last he defeated Porus. But at last he gave away and went. So how did Alexander come to India? With the help of the map. He had the route map, and with the help of the route map he came to India here around 2300 years ago. Similarly, Roman traders had established trading centers in India coast to which they came by ships. Maps became useful and necessary for them. You can see after the Alexander's death, around 2600 years, Roman traders came to India. Then after that, slowly, many European travelers came to India. Many traders came to India to have trade. For example, we can take the British, the Portuguese, the French, the Dutch. These all people, they came, right, to trade with India from Europe. In order to help the sailors, the maps also had to be accurate. And moreover, the Greeks tried to make the maps accurate with the help of longitudes and latitudes. Let us see how this was done. They tried to find out a set of places where the midday occurred. at the same time. These places were joined together with the line from north to south, right? This was the meridian or noon line or longitude. So let us learn about this in a clear way as I draw the board. So the Greeks tried to make the maps accurate with the help of latitude and longitudes. So what are latitudes and what are longitudes? So latitudes are the horizontal lines. These are the horizontal lines, right? These are called as a horizontal. So latitudes are horizontal line. They are horizontal lines drawn on the globe, and whereas longitudes are what? Longitudes are vertical lines. They are vertical lines. Vertical means what? Drawn straight. So with the help of latitudes and with the help of longitudes, they were able to locate the places very easily. Who? The Greeks. Okay, so now how do they locate? So drawing just only one line is yours? No. So when you join these two particular lines, for example, you can see over here, these are the latitudes. These are the latitudes, okay, and these are the longitudes. Now, so with the help of these latitudes and longitudes, you are able to find out the place very easily. Now you want to find out India. How you will find out India? Right? Latitude and longitude. So this particular latitude and longitude, they form a rectangular shape called as grid. They form a grid system. They form a grid system. So with the help of this grid system, you can find the place very accurately. For example, India. If you want to know where is India located on the globe, you have to know just latitude and longitude. So what will be the latitude? Latitude of India is 8 degrees 4 minutes. Right? And what about longitude? It is 97 degrees. So like that, if we know the latitude and longitude, we can find any place on the globe or on a world map. So these Greeks, they use these latitudes and longitudes to know the place accurately. So now longitude, usually these longitudes, what longitude actually mean here? It's a meridian, or called as a meridian or a noon line. So these particular longitudes were been drawn from places where, right, the noon was equal or shadow was equal. So this particular line was drawn from the places where shadow was equal. So they also tried to draw latitudes by connecting places which had equal length of shadow at noon. With the help of these two kinds of lines, they drew the grid on the map and located all the places from west to east and north to south along these lines. Preparing these lines accurately was not an easy task. It was not at all an easy task. It took some 2000 years to finally get correct longitudes and latitude. How many years it has taken? 2000 years to get accurately the latitude and longitudes. So how this was prepared then? How the maps were prepared then? These particular maps were accurately prepared by the information given by the travelers. Usually the travelers used to go from one place to another place. Whenever they used to go from one place to another place, they used to write the description about the place. And this particular description was given to the geographers. So these geographers, they used to prepare the maps. So in this way, the accurate maps were being prepared. So many Europeans right, they traveled to different particular parts of the world and they got the information and they passed it on to the geographers and they prepared the maps. Okay, so and one of the famous geographers was Ptolemy. Ptolemy was one of the famous geographers, right, of the ancient world, who prepared detailed maps of the world using the latitudes and longitudes. Who prepared the detailed map Ptolemy. Right. Ptolemy prepared detailed maps. Using latitudes and longitudes, right? So however, these maps which were prepared by him, right, could not last for a long time. They all were lost. Then how did we have come to know that Ptolemy has prepared an accurate map? Books. We got the books in which he has mentioned all the details, how he has drawn the maps. So many Europeans, right, they used to go from one place to other place, especially the Greece and the Rome, right? So these particular people, whenever they used to go from one place to other place, these Europeans, what they should do, they put their countries in the middle of the map. Means their place is surrounded by the other countries. For example, Rome and Greece, where the particular places, right, they were mentioned as centers in the world map. Similarly, Idrisi also was one of the scholars, right? He also prepared a world map, and he depicted his particular country in the middle and the world around it. Example, one famous Arab map maker, Al-Idrisi, prepared a world map for his king in the year 1154 CE. He prepared the map for his king in the year 1154 CE. The map with legend writings in Arabic, while showing the Eurasian continent fully, right, shows only the northern part of Africa continent and lack details of the southern Africa and Southeast Asia. So in this map, Idris map, what is fully shown? Eurasian continent is shown. Eurasian means what? Europe and Asia is called as a Eurasian. So that is shown. Then what is missing? The southern Africa and Southeast Asia is missing. And if you see this particular map, this map, right, this map. So what is this map? Where is the particular, actually this is map, this is not a correct map. He made it upside down. If you just turn like this is a correct map, you can see here, right? If you have to turn down, right, where you see India is little bit, right, smaller than Sri Lanka here. Sri Lanka is shown very big, and whereas India is shown smaller here. So this is a map which is drawn by Al-Idrisi for his king in the year 1154 CE, and where he shows a northern Africa, right, Asia, then Southeast Asia is not been mentioned detailedly here. Okay, Eurasia, Europe and Asia has been mentioned there. Southeast Asia and South Africa is not mentioned detailedly in this map. So there are many interesting things about this map. Clearly says. Okay, so before they discover the books of Ptolemy, European map makers were greatly influenced by the religious ideas of the Bible and made maps of the world, right? And here given is a world map around those time. You can see the down map, you can see here this is the world map, and in this map what they are giving more importance in this map, according to the Bible, the world is surrounded by oceans. The world is surrounded by the oceans, right? And it is divided into 3 continents. It's divided into 3 continents. I'm drawing on the board. Look at the board here. Right? This is the world. The world is surrounded by water, Now this is a water surrounded here, oceans is, this is a ocean here, and this particular world is divided into three parts. Three parts. Okay, the world is divided into three parts. This is the world according to Bible. According to Bible. World according to Bible, right? And in this, the world is divided into three continents: Asia, Europe, and Africa, right? Of this, Asia was considered the largest and the most important, as it had Jerusalem, which was the birthplace of Jesus Christ. It is therefore also shown on the top. Europe and Africa is shown on the bottom and in a smaller size. So this is Asia, Europe, and Africa. So in this way, the world map was prepared using the ideas from the Bible. Now, why they have mentioned Asia as the biggest? Because they felt that Jerusalem was an important place. Why? Because Jesus Christ was born in that, and that's what they mentioned Asia as an important and as a largest continent also. Around C, that is 480 Common Era, Europeans discovered Ptolemy's books but not the maps. As I already told you, Ptolemy's books, maps were lost, but they got the books and were stunned to learn about his accurate description of the location of places. They prepared some new maps based on them. So when the Europeans, they discovered the Ptolemy's map, they were stunned. Why they were stunned? In that book, the description about the world map was so accurately, right? They were quite very much silent about it. They prepared some new maps based on it. You can see one such particular map. You can see one particular such map based on the mathematical calculation prepared after reading the books of Ptolemy.